everybody. I am live today to talk to my friend Viola. She went through my 4-week self-publishing workshop and yay, here she is.
This is the first time I've ever done this. How do I'm
Like,
whoa,
whoa, oh my God.
that's really loud in my ears. Am I 100 years old?
Years old?
Hi.
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 Are you getting feedback?
I am a little.
Yeah, I am a little.
Okay, hold on. Let me find my headphones. This happened to me. And hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
We can just all
look at me right now.
Yeah, exactly. Just ignore my real good camera angles.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Bam. Okay. Is that better?
I think so. Yes. Oh, good. I'm not just like hearing me. That's great. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I forgot about the whole headphone thingy-mooingy.
It's cool. This is just proving to people out there that you don't need to know things. You don't need to have your shit together. You can just,
Oh my gosh.
you can just go live and
figure it out
when you're there.
Seriously, like yesterday I had like the first pit stop for my
virtual
book tour. And I'm like talking and I'm like saying words that aren't even real words. My grammar's off and I'm like, and yes, I did write a book.
Yeah, because guess what? You can do it just like whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I love how it was so interesting to watch people as they went through the 4-week self-publishing workshop. Because, right, like everyone who finished it very quickly, I realized that they were all doing it like the way that I did it, and they were all manifesting generators like me. And so it was really cool to watch someone go through it who wasn't a manifesting generator, and to do it your way. So love it because, right, for all of my human design followers out there, Viola is a manifester, so a little bit different. And I also love, right, like, can we just dispel so many, like, I don't have time. Like, Viola is literally, like, holding space for, however many clients that she does. Like, she has a thriving business. She has her podcast, and she's also constantly traveling, right? Like, and you wrote a book. You're amazing. I love you. I love you. Oh my gosh.
Thank
you. Tell us everything. Tell us all about it.
So for everyone I haven't met, I'm Viola. People call me V usually. And like Tiffani said, I'm a digital nomad. So I've been since August traveling absolutely full time. Like before then I was making pit stops in New Zealand, which is where I was living. And if you're noticing that doesn't sound like a New Zealand accent, it's because it's somewhere between a New Zealand accent and a Canadian accent, which is where I lived before I moved to New Zealand. And yeah, I'm a business coach. I'm a podcaster. I'm now an author. What? Hey.
Incredible.
Yeah. And so, it was absolutely amazing. And I remember when you posted, you and I, like when it's so interesting because ever since we first connected, which I think I first came across you maybe December 2017, like right around the time that I launched my coaching business.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And,
that was a big time for me. That was when my Saturn return started.
Yeah. And when we, we like looked at each other's charts and there's like differences, but there's so many similarities in our story and everything. And when I saw that you wrote a book and just did it, I was like, damn, because for so long I've been like, I'm going to write a book one day. Like, and then I saw your course and I was just like, yes. And it was exactly what I needed to put me into action. I was like, I could totally write a book in a month. I didn't, but I wrote a book in 4 months, which is still pretty amazing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's still completely amazing. And not only did you write the book, but you've done yes, I told people like in the course, like when we get to the marketing, portion, and I suggested like try a virtual book tour. Like I personally never did that, but I was like, oh, that's a cool idea. And I love like seeing you because it's such a manifestor thing to do.
Oh yeah.
I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah, well, for me as well, like a big thing that I teach as well is like how to make an impact with what you're doing as well. Because I feel like for so long in my journey, it was like I was coming up with all these really cool ideas, but they were like the best secrets on the internet because like I didn't know how to get my voice out there. I didn't know how to stay consistent. I didn't know how to share my message in a way that really could resonate with other people. And so when I finally, like when all the things started coming together and started making sense, it was like I was
Hey,
really huge.
Kayla.
Hi, Kayla. I was really excited about making impact with everything that I do as well. So I was like really thinking like, how can I make this like a really big thing? Like, how can I share it with as
Yeah, an
many people?
event.
Yeah, exactly. And so
I love
and this is
it.
only the start. There's so many other cool things I've got planned.
I saw you've got
Yeah.
so many other groups that you're going to be going into. I'm so
Yeah, yeah,
excited. And like,
yeah.
and you know, because I know a lot of I know, thank you, Kayla. Yeah, I know a lot of the people that you're like going to be touring with
Hmm.
too. And oh my gosh, I am so excited. Like I'm getting that like excited, like chesty feeling like you do when a client
Yeah,
is telling you about like where they're going and you're just like,
yeah,
oh my God, I feel like I'm there with you.
yeah. Hi, Nick.
So yeah, it's just so fun. So tell us a little bit about, you know, about your book and like I know that
Hmm.
you're on this book tour, you're sharing about like different pieces of your book,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So what would you
Hmm.
like to share with us?
Well, so the big thing when I was writing the book, and I also kind of like just now feel more like also inclined to share a little bit about the process because for those of you who are thinking of writing a book, like it's not actually as complicated as you think. And seriously, but I think what it takes is a really like it takes a lot of introspection. Like I don't think I've ever looked into my life and into my past as much as I have in this process of writing the book. And like the hard thing for me was like I have so many concepts that I live by. I have so many things that I've achieved and done. How am I going to share this message in a way that actually resonates with other people? And like what did I actually do? Like I had no idea what I actually did to get myself to this place now where I'm literally living like as a digital nomad with this online business, like doing all the things that I used to dream of. And so I like went into this massive reflection. I was like, okay, well, what actually changed for me? Like, what mindset shifts did I have? What were my big moments? And I started really reflecting on that, and that's really what ended up becoming into the book is like, how did I become this abundant babe, and how can you? Because my book is called "You Are an Abundant Babe."
Yeah.
And really, I guess the underlying concept is that you don't actually need anything outside of yourself. It's all
Whew.
about becoming more of who you are, right? And channeling that what's already inside of you because it already is inside of you. And the more I allowed myself to be myself in my journey of entrepreneurship and life, the easier it got. It's like the more I say what's on my
I
mind, the more I
know.
stop caring about what people think, the easier it is.
Crazy how that works. I
Hmm.
have a question for you.
Yes.
How much, right? Because I know that you follow human design.
Hmm.
How
Hmm.
much do you think that like deconditioning what's not you and like embracing what is you has played a role in this?
I think like human design was definitely a catalyst for me as well. And I think that's like one of the reasons why I loved, even though you were more into astrology at the time when I first came across you,
Hmm.
I just gotten into human design. And it's like so funny how like so many pieces of the puzzle came together right at the point. Because for those of you who like know me and for those of you who don't, like I started my journey in entrepreneurship like in 2012, like a long time
Hmm.
ago. And it was really only this past year that I've actually had any consistent success and like, but success that's like growing at a rate that doesn't make sense logically. And so it's like, finally, I feel like everything's coming together. And for me, like human design was definitely one of those catalysts because being a manifester, not having the defined sacral center, right? Like I actually self-identified as a workaholic for a really long time. And when I
Mm.
first heard that like manifestors and like especially people who are raised by like projectors or manifestors who are raised by manifesting generators, which both my parents are manifesting generators, um, how they can self-identify as workaholics and overwork themselves, and I prided myself on being a workaholic, so I was
Hmm.
offended. I
Was
was like,
that what
fuck
was like
you.
respected in your home?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hear that. And you know, that's like, it breaks my heart, like, because I hear that all the time, right?
Yeah.
From pretty much anyone of any type. Like, no one likes their type when they first hear it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
can we just like look at who you are as a whole, though? Like,
Yeah.
you're a beautiful fucking unicorn, and I love you so much. Oh
Uh-huh.
my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to hear a little bit more about, right, like your book itself and like
Yeah.
what's going on inside of it and what you
Hmm.
see, I think, for people like when they're, closing the book and it's like, that was a great read. Like, what do you want them to take away from that?
You know what? Like, you actually put it into perfect words when we were in like discussion in the group for your book writing course, because I was just like, what's my message? I'm like, here's all my millions of things that I love. And I'm
Mm.
like, how do I channel this all into one book? Side note, like, I've already got book 2 and 3 planned from like writing this book, because I'm
I
like,
love that.
but it's like, it makes so much sense though, because at the start I was like, it all has to be in the book. And now I'm just like, okay, no, this needs to be in the book, and the other things can be in the next book.
Yeah.
But it was like really that whole concept of that you actually get to have everything in life. Like, you get to have the amazing relationship, you get to have the like epic growing bank account, you get to have fulfillment in your work, you get to have love, travel, like anything that you desire, you can actually have with second helpings. Like,
Oh, I love
right? And
that.
that's actually how you worded it. And I'm like, yes, that is so what it's about. And so the whole book is really to take you through this journey of how
Wait,
you
did
can
I
actually,
say that? Is that what you just said?
like, I was like, how do I put all this together? And you're like, your message is that you can have it all with second helpings. And I'm like, yes.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
Cool. See,
Yeah.
I just say things. Good. Good.
Yeah.
Go me. That's awesome. I
Yeah.
love that because that is you. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was like really like taking people on that journey of like, well, really, how did I get to that? So a huge theme of it is cultivating self-belief, but also from like a no BS perspective. Like, one of the things that I touch on in the chapter, which is what I also like thought would be really fun to talk about with you, is like this whole idea that we actually always have a choice. Like, we always have a choice. And the more we create awareness around who we are, like, for example, when we're going around life and we're like complaining about things not going our way, when we're upset about things, it's like you are kidding yourself if you don't think you have a choice in the matter. And sometimes that can be a little bit hard to hear, because the deeper that we're in it, the more triggering that is. But it's like, if I would have lived my life with this idea that I didn't have a choice in what I was doing, I would still be back where I was when I was suffering with mental health issues, depression, feeling like the ultimate victim, like going around, everyone, you should feel sorry for me because my life is so hard. Wah. You know?
Are we the same person or
Yeah.
what? Oh, God. I was
Yeah.
literally just having this conversation with my boyfriend this morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good.
And so it's like, well, okay, so when you understand that you have that power of choice, how can you actually start living your life based on that and not feel sorry for yourself, but at the same time still honor everything that you've been through, still honor who you are, still, and also still have compassion for other people going through it, right? Because that's one of the hard things. Like, sometimes when you have like these moments and you're just like, I'm not a victim, like, I can do the things. Yeah, definitely. You're just
So
like,
that's the difference between us.
yeah,
And I do think that it's like an open emotional center thing versus defined. Because I'm
probably.
like, yo, you need to get over your shit.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I still understand you. And I'm like, been there,
Yeah.
done that. Like, check. You need to, like, you
Oh
can
my
get,
God,
you
yeah.
can grow through this. Like, that's,
Yeah.
but that's
My
why there are
perspective
different
is,
coaches, different styles. I love it.
yeah, exactly. And my perspective is always just like, it's the same, but it's actually like, I do have a little bit more, I don't know, compassionate, because the thing is that,
Empathy, yes.
yeah, like, I so remember being in that place and being like, I have no options. And I'm like, well, you fucking do. But
Yeah.
it's like I also understand where you're coming from. So when you're ready, when you're just like, I'm done making excuses, then I can help
Bingo.
push you
Then
through
I'm
that,
available
right?
for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Just like whatever side note, because I think that we're talking about this right now because someone out there is supposed to hear it.
Yeah.
This is just an example of like boundaries,
Yeah.
right? Because like I have so much openness and like empathy and compassion, for like people who are like making strides and working and like doing the
Yes.
work. You know what I mean? But if I just get the same like people complaining about the same situations and the same bullshit over and over and like, sorry, not sorry, like, especially if you're not paying me to hear you talk about that, I literally cannot give you, like, my most valuable resource is my time and my energy, and like
It's
I
true
am
though.
only so much available for that, right? So it's like
Yeah.
layers of the onion. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, you can have the outermost like crust of me, but you can't have the juicy, like, tender center part.
Yeah, 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 totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
I so agree with that. Yeah, and so and I think that's, I mean, I think everything I talk about in my book is I ended up doing 8 chapters in the end because I ended up squishing some together and splitting a couple up. So it kind of ended up in 8 chapters. And it's like every single chapter goes over a really specific thing. So how the chapters are laid out is they go over a topic. Like, for example, one of the chapters is around choice, but it's like choice mixed with a few things, but that's kind of the main theme is like the power of choice that we actually do have. And then every chapter also has some soul work that I call it, with some journaling pages and some integration pages that I call it, because my belief is, as well, is that we really can't change, we can't shift if we're not putting into action the things that we learn. And that has been like my thing from the beginning. Like, even when I first started out, like, I've come a really, really long way in this time. And even though, like I say, like, I had most of my growth and nothing really happened, like, still a lot happened for me personally with my personal growth and my other years of entrepreneurship. But the difference between me and why I was actually out, because I left my job in 2012. Like, last time I had a proper job was 2012. So even though I wasn't always as
Proper
like,
job.
yeah, exactly. As even though I wasn't always as successful in my endeavors, like, I was always making it happen in one way or another, right? And so, and the big part is because it was application. It's like, you don't just listen to a podcast and go, that was inspiring.
You
No, you
are
listen and you
speaking to
go,
my
what can I
soul.
apply? Yeah. And so that's why, like, through my book, I have the actual, like, okay, cool. Like, you like this chapter? Don't just be like, that was cool. Go do something about it in your life right now.
Integrate it, do something,
Yeah,
take
exactly.
action.
Yeah. And
Cross of
that's also,
penetration. I fucking love you.
yes. And that's also why, like, I've created like a couple of bundle deals that are available for like the pre-order only for my book. But like, one of the things is an actual integration guide. So it's going to be like a mix of like videos and little like guide things to help people like make sure they're
I
properly integrating.
love that. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we're done here, can you please like drop all of the links in the
Okay.
comments to
Will do.
everything? Because we need this. We
Yes.
like, what a
Yes.
great idea. Oh my God, tell us
Yes.
about what else do you have going on?
Okay, so well, okay, so we have the virtual book tour. So I'm dropping by a whole bunch of different, mainly Facebook groups over the next little while. So the book comes out on March 11th, which is a really special date to me because that's actually my dad's birthday. And
Hmm.
my dad, he would have been 59. He's passed away nearly 14 years ago now, and so it's like
I'm
absolutely
sorry,
crazy.
just our like I have to like it's so
Yeah.
weird because like my dad's been gone for like 15 or 16 years, but his birthday is March 22nd.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's just too
What is
much
up?
sometimes. It's too much sometimes. It's a little much, but
Yeah.
I love you and I love where your heart is. I love the
Yeah.
intention. You're just such a beautiful soul.
Oh,
Okay,
it
so
just
virtual
like,
book tour
yeah.
and
And then the 11th, the book's coming out, and I have like a wait list for people where I'm kind of sending, like, for example, the pre-order bundle deals got sent out to the list last night, and then any kind of like new developments or anything exciting else that I'm creating, like exclusive first orders or anything like that, is all going to be to the list. And so I have like the pre-order ones. I have this integration guide. I have, I'm going to be doing a mastermind call as well. I'm also going to be doing one-on-one calls, like as part of bundles if you buy the book as pre-order, but they're only available before the book's actually out. So that,
oh, I love that. Yeah,
yeah.
so it's we're on a clock. We're on a timer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's only available for those people that are just like, give it to me and give it to me with a full package. Like, I want to be able to read the book, integrate it, like figure out
Do the
how it
work right
applies to my
now.
life, like change
Yeah.
my kind of situation from this point forward. Like, let this be the catalyst moving forward, right? So yeah,
Mm.
feels good. It feels exciting, and then yeah, I don't know. There's gonna be I haven't actually announced this anywhere yet, but you guys can know. But there's going to be like some giveaways when the book goes live. There's going to be all sorts. I'm going to be doing like a launch party in my group, which is the Abundant Babes, a Home for a Visionary.
Ah,
So there's going to be more details in there about that. But yeah, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, and oh my gosh, I don't even know if I told you. Oh,
What?
you might have seen it on my story, but like last night when I launched my bundles, I sold my very, very first book and I literally cried. Like
Oh
I
my
was so
gosh.
excited. And so, yeah, I've sold my first book. I've sold some more now as well. But when that happened, like, because I wasn't expecting, I just sent out the email, was minding my own business, and I got a PayPal ding, and I was like, what? I was like, ah! And now it's like all coming to life and feeling so much more real. And it's like, I mean, you put a lot of energy, like a lot of yourself into a book. I feel like it's a very intimate thing to share with people. And like Nick, my editor-in-chief, my husband slash editor-in-chief, who's the one that's good at grammar in our relationship, by the way. So don't worry, it's like, it's pretty good.
It's
The
been
grammar's
edited.
pretty okay.
Yeah.
It's been through 2 editing revisions, so it's all right. And but I'm like, oh, should I put that in the book? Like, should I take that out? Like, oh, I don't really know if I want people to know that. And then, but then I have to keep reminding myself, no, this is the whole point, because like I've literally like one of my stories that I tell is about how like at one point I was literally like a pothead and got kicked out of my accommodation because of like being so like. And I was just like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. But the point of the story was like so powerful to the point I was making. I was like, okay, fine, I'll tell it.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And now I've been like sober for 3 years. And so it's like people who meet me now, they would never have guessed that I was like such a little like crazy back in my day. But I mean, I had to go through it apparently.
I think we all
Yeah, we've all
stories
had those
like
moments.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quietly.
Right? No,
Yeah.
but you know, you're actually touching on something, right? Like my boyfriend half jokes with me about how I'm like always talking about Scientology and Scientologists, and like we live so close. He's like, you need to chill. They're gonna, you know, whatever, like blast you because like whatever. And I'm like, honestly, like I kind of accepted that role when I decided that I was gonna have like an internet presence.
Yeah.
Like I put all my dirty laundry out there because I think it's valuable for people to learn from and for people to see I'm a human and that you can
Uh-huh.
grow and thrive even if you were a hot garbage mess,
Oh
right?
my gosh,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, it
I
doesn't
think
define you.
Oh my gosh, it's so important to share that as well. And it's like such a big thing that I love sharing with clients and helping them get over as well. Because a lot of times, even just like, oh, what am I up to today? Like my stories, like if I really were to logically think about the stories I put on my Instagram, I would be like, no, 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 like not worthy of putting up, not good enough, I look weird. Like, but it's just like, I'm just like, what the fuck ever, like blah, like on all of my
I think
stories.
that's awesome.
And yeah, and
Yeah,
it's because I think like bringing this level of humanness back to it and like helping people realize it's like it's like nothing that's happened to you, and again I talk about this in my book as well, but nothing that's happened to you is defining. It's like the only thing that's defining are the choices that you make from here, like who you choose to be and what you choose to follow. Because hello, you literally can have it all. I'm like, so this is like, if I know anything to my core, it is that anything that you desire, you can have. And
fully.
that's it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, and I love you, and you're
Yes.
amazing. And
Yeah.
I'm so honored to have been even like a small role in this process because this
Yes.
is going to change minds and change perspectives and open up doors. And like literally, like people are gonna read this book and their whole life is gonna change. Like,
It is. It's so good.
do you know what I'm
Seriously.
saying? Isn't that so awesome?
My defined will
So
right now is like, it's so good. Like,
yes.
yes.
Yes,
And
I am
thank you,
so proud of
Hanan.
you.
Thank
I
you,
think you're
Connie.
amazing.
Mm.
I'm so excited for all of it. So
Yes.
thank you
Thank
for
you so
sharing it with
much.
me. Oh, and
Mm.
remember, yes, and please,
Yes, I'll put
everybody,
the links. I'll put the links.
as soon as we're done here, Viola's going to drop all of the links so that you can get access
Mm.
to her
Mm-hmm.
bundles and pre-orders and get on the list so you know
Mm-hmm.
everything that's going on and follow her virtual book tour so you can hear about all of
Mm-hmm.
the other things that are
Yes.
in there.
Yes.
We
Amazing.
love
Well,
you,
thanks so much.
We
Love
love you, Viola.
you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.